Support for 100 Watts and a Wire is brought to you by 100wattsandawire.com. To subscribe to the show, simply click the RSS feed found under each episode. While you're there, apply for your free 100 Watts ID and learn how you can help make 100 Watts and a Wire listener supported. Click the donate page and pick the option that works best for you. That's 100wattsandawire.com. And ICOM. Communicate with the best. Communication has never been so fun than with ICOM. From D-Star to SDR, ICOM uses the most advanced technology in their radios. And PowerFilm Solar. PowerFilm manufactures durable, lightweight, rollable, and foldable solar panels that will take your ham radio setup to the next level, making it more portable than ever before. Visit PowerFilmSolar.com for more information.
And now, from Grid Square Echo Mike 48, this is 100 Watts and a Wire.
Well, welcome to 100 Watts and a Wire, another field edition. Some folks wrote to me and said they actually enjoyed hearing the birds and the outside nature of things. Frankly, I'm outside at least once a week, no matter what temperature, to take a stroll through the antenna garden. I don't have an antenna farm. I've got a garden. So you'll be putting up with me breathing and walking and doing a hike today. But now you can create a picture in your mind, or allow me to, that we are standing directly underneath my antennas. And right now we are under an 80-meter antenna that serves the east and the west. And I'm just out here checking my lines. Boy, there's a lot going on, and I figured I just needed to take a walk. We actually had snow over the weekend. But in the time in between, oh, there goes some deer. You're not going to be able to hear them, but there's 3 running. They're about 60 yards away. Well, over the week, weather-wise, we had an 81 or 82 degree day. That very night, by the next morning, it was 35, 31. A 40 degree temperature swing in less than 12 hours. Just crazy. Then we had some snow on Saturday, and then it turned to rain. It got too warm and everything melted. So today things are kind of firm. The ground is hard because of the temperature got up overnight, but it's a little wet. So I just like to take the walk anyway. And with things that are going on in the world, man, and I've told you, ever since 1998, I've stayed clear of race, religion, and politics in my broadcast. Now, mostly that's commercial broadcast. It just did not serve me to divide my audience. I needed as many people listening as I could to keep my gig. You know, that's how it works. And I've carried that lesson on. You know, I kind of look for the common threads in people. And, you know, those simple things where we all bleed, we all get sick. We bury our grandparents and our parents. And we all want better things for our children and the next generation. And so I stay clear of that, of those things that sort of divide us. And we just are so inundated with division right now. It's, you know, I have a hard time even looking at the TV. It's maybe that's by design. Maybe that's what I want to do. But this constant fighting is just, you know, wears you out. But, of course, we had another shooting, you know, which brings up a lot of questions about guns and gun control. Breaks people out, people who like to have guns and have that right. You still do. You still do have that right, and the laws benefit you. Probably now more than ever. You have as many rights as a gun owner as you've had. we dip back to the Constitution. We talk about the Constitution. When those brothers were packing muskets, today we have different things. We have different guns on the market, and the laws allow you to buy them, use them. Hopefully you train with them. And I'm not interested in taking guns away from people. But all of us either have children or grandchildren, or most of us like children. So now that we've got the guns, we've got to figure out a way to protect our children. We really do have to protect these kids. I heard somebody say something about, putting in veterans or retired police officers into the schools. Love that idea. I wish we could employ former veterans and police officers or emergency people who are trained with weapons. Of course, that would require vetting as well. A lot of people came back from war in the military and they weren't right. Respectfully, they weren't right. They needed help. There's arguments that they don't get the help they need, right? So, I'm not here to pitch an anti-gun agenda or a pro-gun agenda, but I'm definitely pro-kids, man, and protection. We've got a problem that's really unique to our country. And we need to figure it out. And we've got politicians in there right now that, I'm not convinced that they care about us anyway. I know, that sounds like a bummer. That sounds like I'm looking up at my 160 antenna right now, just to keep it ham radio for ya. We're directly about 65 feet below the balun of my 160 antenna walking in the woods. We've got to hold these politicians accountable. We need to tell them who they work for. And if they don't, they need to go. And if we all can't agree that we need to protect our kids in the schools and figure out a good way to do it on both sides, then they have to go. They have to go. I've got young kids. I'm sure you have children or grandchildren. We've got the guns. We've got the laws in the favor of the gun owner. Well, let's figure out this problem together. Can we do that? Or are we just going to keep fighting and fighting? Let me tell you a quick little story about, I've been in broadcasting 25 years or whatever. First 10 were in commercial radio, rock radio. I played rock music, your Pearl Jams, and Zeppelin and Floyd, The Who. And moved out here to the heartland, and nobody really wanted to pick me up real quick. I don't know. Kind of an old boys club out here in terms of broadcasting. So I ended up latching on at National Public Radio, spent a decade there. And the reason I left, I don't know if I've ever talked about this, but I left because, number one, I wanted to be with my family. It was more, they had me working on the weekends and stuff like that. And I thought, what, man, I'd rather just be with my kid because, you're not getting rich working in public radio. But I enjoyed it, kept my feet in the game, so to speak, kept me sharp, fresh. But I felt like I was becoming immune to, roadside bombing today kills 11 soldiers. Next, here's the sports scores. And it happened so much over that decade that I thought, you know what? I don't want to become immune to the fact that I'm hearing what's happening here. And it just skates by. Yep, 12 people dead, roadside bomb, soldiers killed, suicide bomber. And next thing you know, you become, becomes like a callus on your finger when you play guitar or something. It stops hurting. It doesn't, And when I started to feel that way, I got out of it because I just didn't want to feel that way anymore. And I hope that we will not let this the school stuff, the school shootings, and it's other places too, man. It's nightclubs. It's, very clearly there's some mental health issues, and there must be some way to check on these people. Much like when you got a driver's license, you got to go check the car out, right? You got to make sure the car is running right, not belching smoke out into the air, and if so, you got to fix it. You kind of have to intermittently show that you can still drive a car. I don't know. It's a complex problem, but I don't think it's a problem where we split sides. You got everything we need in place, but maybe we don't have the right people working on the problem. We gotta get these people going. Get some moms in on the issue. Gotta have a happy mom. Anyway, not to start off on such a bummer, but sometimes you just gotta get out and take a walk. I can't fix this problem, y'all. I can't fix it. I don't have the stroke or the resources, any connections to even listen to me if I had the answer. But there is some sort of thinking that there has to be a way. There has to be a way that we can protect our children. And anybody who's not interested in protecting children against violence should really be called into question and really looked under a microscope as to why. And why can't you fix it? I don't know, man. Let me get off this subject. Maybe I need to just take a break. Maybe I'm losing listeners with every step I take. But just know before you go and unsubscribe, I'm not pro-Democrat. I'm not pro-Republican. More and more I start to feel like both sides, they don't care. They don't care about us. That's how I feel. That's as close to politics as I'm going to get for you today. I'd like to see the problem solved, fixed, addressed. That's it. So if you want to go, you can go. You can start your own show. It's so easy. I'm doing this on a walk. Come on. You do it. Let's hear what you have to say. All right, when we come back, we'll talk more about some ham radio related stuff. And find out where I turn up after the break.
When in doubt, hang 'em high. This is 100 watts and a wire.
The SDR you have asked for is here. ICOM's new 7610 is a high-performance RMDR with the ability to pick out the faintest of signals, even in the presence of stronger adjacent signals. The new ICOM IC7610 is a direct sampling, software-defined radio that's SDR that will change the world's definition of an SDR transceiver. It has an RF direct sampling system, 110 dB RMDR, an independent dual receiver, and dual Digi-Select. And you can communicate with the new D-Star communication device. Easy to use and operate, the ID31A Plus is available in silver, red, or gold. It offers worldwide digital communication. You can share pictures and text messages. And it's IPX7 waterproof, compact, lightweight, and tough. Visit icomamerica.com/amateur for information about all ICOM radios.
It's Christian. Kilo Zero, sweeter than honey. Girl.
Welcome back. If you're still here, hey, I appreciate that. I don't mean to be a bummer, but I try to put myself in the shoes of those parents and the communities, grandparents, burying those kids this week. And that's the kind of thing you need to think about. You start getting immune to it or complacent. Starting to get, forget it. Hey, man, I hear now, did you hear that there is a new team headed to Beauvais? From what I can tell, it seems like 5 ops are going to go, and they're going to go as 3 Yankee, 0 India. 3Y0I. And it seems like it's a Polish team. They've got a website, and that makes me happy, actually. My heritage is Polish. And I think that's cool. But they stepped aside for the Bouvet Island expedition that was aborted here recently, right? They're still making their way home. South Africa. They finally made it to South Africa. This is the original team that we've been talking about. American team. Well, since that one was aborted, there is a, quote, matter of urgency now. And this new team that was set to go but moved aside for the American team to go do it have now reinstalled their plan to go with that, quote, matter of urgency, unquote. They're going to sail from South Africa, and their permit or their license, however this works, their permission is through February of 2019. So this is going to happen in the coming weeks and months ahead. There's a plan for it. And so you don't have to get sketched out now. You just need to keep an eye on the new Bouvet team heading there. They have a website. I have a note here as I'm walking. Let's see. It's Bouvet, BOUVETOYA.org. BOUVETOYA.org. So, listen for them, and we wish them luck. Hopefully they'll get the same coverage from the American ham radio media. Certainly if I hear about it, and I'll try to follow it and pass on any news that I can for you. So that's exciting for them. But I do really feel for the American team, who they're not even home yet. I mean, the mission was aborted. $750,000 worth of investment. They get there, look at the island, stare at the island, and could not get off of the ship because of the weather. The new team wants to go at a different time of the year, which may be more favorable to them. So there you go. One door closes, another one opens, and we'll have a team. We'll have a team there. They won't be an American team. Seems like it's Polish. The website there that I gave you, when you go there, that's in Polish as well. But you can have it translated. There's a button that says, do you want to translate it? Boop, goes to English, and there you go. So it'll tell you all about that. I also want to share with you my mobile install has been really fun. I basically polished it off this weekend. I had very little to do, some cable organization, and the way I had my battery was up under the back seat, and it went into a rig runner, and I had to stop quickly last week, and it came undone. Radio cut off, everything. You can imagine hitting the brakes, and next thing you know, my battery wasn't secure. Zoop, there it goes. So I needed to address that situation, and I did. And again, we were out here in the field recording, walking, hiking. There's a woodpecker. Let's see if we can get an appearance from a woodpecker. Anytime you want... See, this is why I don't work with woodpeckers or animals. I asked the woodpecker, make the appearance, tap on the wood, I'll bring you in, we'll talk. No. Anyway, other birds are making pretty sounds. Let's head this way. What was I talking about? Oh, yeah. The battery situation. I needed to firm that up, and I did over the weekend. And what I'm really enjoying is there's a little bit of time. I've got about 45 minutes between the time I get out of work and the time I need to pick up my daughter from school. And there's about a 40-minute drive. And I've been turning on 20 meters and hearing the DX stations. And it's so fun. I'm like, nah, this will never happen. Oh, okay, I'll try. And I've had some success, and the feeling of that mobile DX, like I've worked, there you are. Well, you son of a... Come in on cue. Damn woodpeckers. Brazil, the Azores, Australia. I was in a really noisy part of town. A lot of overhead lines and that sort of stuff. And I could hear him, And I'm getting used to trying to catch call signs, and I'm not writing as I drive, but if I stop at a light, I work in the city, so if I stop at a light, I'll catch part, the prefix, maybe a next light, the suffix, and I'm not pouncing at all. I'm just trying to get the information, listen. It forces me to listen longer, which is always a good thing. And if the station is still there when I get all the information I need, which is basically the frequency, their call sign, and keep an eye on the time of the day, then I'm good to go. I can pretty much start calling then. But please, guys, please don't write. I know you're tempted to. You hear that? I hope that turns up. It's not close. That woodpecker is not close. It's ringing across this valley here, and there's a body of water in between me and that woodpecker. Be really careful as you get into HF Mobile, and even, the 2 meter 440 stuff. Be really careful what you're doing. It's not worth it. Your cargo is way too important. I'm driving kids around. So that's what I do. At lights, when I stop, take a little information, either write it into my phone or do like a voice to text, and go from there. But I worked Australia. He was so loud. I'm pretty sure he did all the heavy lifting that day. I'm trying to remember his call sign. It was like VK2MO, something like that. And I've heard him on in the mornings before. Just a powerful, strong signal. And he must have been pointing. I'm going uphill now, guys, so the breathing is what it is. He must have been pointing directly at the States. And, he dug me out. And I encourage all ops, too, especially if you're running nets, or if you got a good pileup going for some particular reason, listen for those QRP, mobile, the portable stuff. I like to listen for YLs, new generals. If I'm on the other side and people are calling, during a net or whatever. But naturally, stations were calling over me. And I'm Kilo Zero, Sierra Tango Hotel, mobile, and I'm thinking, no way in hell. This is 9,500 miles. Whew, that was a hill, y'all. And he hushed them for me. He basically said the mobile only, Kilo Zero, Tango. He kind of got most of it. But he wanted them to be quiet. Be quiet only. Another guy called over me, and I waited. And I didn't call right away. Actually, I have the audio for that. I'll play the audio, but let me set up the audio so you understand. I was charging my phone in the USB in my truck. And so when I hit record, it was actually recording me onto like a speakerphone, through a speakerphone. So my audio does not sound like this. It's just how it was recorded. It was almost recording it like a telephone call. But what the heck, this brother dug me out here, and I really appreciate it. Here's the call with the mobile station, my mobile station calling Australia.
Well, I'm not expecting much on this one, but we've got a station from Australia. I am mobile right now. He sounds great on 20 meters, but I don't expect to reach him from here. I'm kind of under some power lines. I'm going to try, though.
Yeah, thank you, Mike. 73. Yeah, QRZ.
Kilo Zero, Sierra Tango Hotel, mobile.
Oh, Charlie, Kilo Bravo 4, Echo Charlie. Kilo Bravo 4, Echo Charlie, Alpha, India, 5, Sierra Fox, VK 3 Mike Oscar. Thanks for calling. I'll give you a report next over. AI5 SF, VK 3 MO.
A lot of noise here.
Yeah, fine, Scott, and you're about 10 over 9 on the teeth. Okay, Scott, thanks for calling. Have a great evening, 7-3.
Kilo 0 Sierra Tango Hotel Mobile.
Bravo India, Kilo Bravo 4, Echo Charlie. Okay, Tango Mobile, for 2 Tango Mobile, go ahead, please. Kilo Bravo 4, Echo Charlie. Yeah, Matt, we've got a mobile in there. It was a 2 Tango Mobile, go ahead, please.
Kilo 0 Sierra Tango Hotel Mobile.
Kilo 0 Sierra Tango Hotel.
Amazing.
0 Sierra Tango Hotel. Mobile, the EK 3MA. Just a good job to get through. I just heard you in a little few milliseconds of space between calls. Anyway, you're coming through well. My name is Ian. I'm Italy, America, and Norway. You're coming over the long path at the moment. 0 STH Mobile, Victor Kilo 3 Mike Oscar.
Well, good afternoon to you, or good morning to you. I got to get my time settled here in the mobile. But it's afternoon here. Thanks for digging me out here. Yep, you sound great. You're 10 over here in the state of Missouri. 5-9 plus 10. I know a lot of people are calling you. I appreciate you digging me out in the mobile. This is Kilo 0 Sierra Tango Hotel. Thanks so much, Ian. Have a great day in 73.
Yeah, it's a pleasure. K0 Sierra Tango Hotel Mobile. EK 3MA, you're peaking 5 by 8, 58. Thanks for the nice report, and doing really well. We got through from a beautiful sounding signal through audio. It sounds a great mobile. I'd never know you were mobile, which is so. 73, the K0 STH Mobile. Victor Kilo 3 Mike Oscar. Echo Charlie.
That is cool.
Kilo 3, Kilo 3, go ahead, please.
That is so cool. Awesome.
I sure did enjoy that, man. I sure did. Again, apologies on the audio. I did not expect it to happen, and it was recorded more like a phone conversation, with my end being on speakerphone. Let's take a break right now. We'll come back and talk about YouTube and the decision to get in the game next.
From wireless to Wi-Fi, this is 100 watts and a wire.
Ever wish you could take your setup anywhere and not have to worry about power? PowerFilm can help. Specializing in lightweight, easy-to-deploy solar panels, you'll be transmitting from almost anywhere in minutes. Offering foldable panels from 5 to 220 watts, PowerFilm is sure to have an ideal solution for you. You don't have to lug around that heavy and awkward crystalline panel again. Lighten your load and make remote setups easier. You worry about making contacts, leave the portable power to PowerFilm. To learn more, visit powerfilmsolar.com or reach out on Facebook or Twitter.
CQ. This is 100 watts and a wire.
Hey, have you seen this Xiegu radio, this transceiver? It's a 5-watt multi-mode transceiver. You can only get it here in the States at MFJ. It's called a Xiegu. It's spelled Xiegu. It's a portable 5-watter. It's got a built-in, highly efficient automatic antenna tuner, split frequency, XCVR function, noise blanker, noise reduction, a number notch. Really lightweight. I haven't held one of these, but it's meant to be really portable, a true portable transceiver, all mode, single sideband, CW, AM, FM, plus digital stuff. smooth tuning, multiple bandpass filters. It's called a Zygu. It's under $700. And from what I hear, they listened to the customer. They were listening to hams as they were designing the unit. And they really hung their hat on the fact that QRP no longer means sacrificing those convenient high-tech operating features. You know, those things make ham radio fun. You want those in your radio. You also don't have to have a huge bag full of cables and boxes. And this is why, because the Keyer, the ATU, and high-capacity battery pack are built right in. Check this out. Go to MFJ and do a search for Zygu. Xiegu. It's the X5105 portable 5-watt multi-mode transceiver. Check it out. One day, see, they're selling them out. I just want to hold it. I just want to hold it and see. It's one of those, you could put it in, it's like a brick. It's like a little brick with all this stuff. A 5-watt radio. It's called Zygu. A radio is a radio, and I want to touch it. Look for it on mfjenterprises.com.
The 100 Watts in a Wire D-Star Report.
I've been receiving a lot of questions lately about something that is beginning to revolutionize the way we communicate on D-Star. QuadNet is taking D-Star by storm and has become a very popular way users can talk with one another and not tie up a busy reflector. Plus, it can give a degree of privacy similar to what one would have on a simplex frequency. Originally, call sign routing was used between repeaters as a way two stations could talk with one another. However, if you used a hotspot due to not having a local D-Star repeater, you couldn't use this feature of D-Star. Then came IRC-DDB. This allowed stations using a hotspot to use call sign routing. However, they would need to jump through a few hoops, such as needing a dedicated call sign for their hotspot. Then they would need to register that call sign as a full-time IRC-DDB gateway. This worked quite well once set up. However, there was still a lot to be desired. The steps one would have to take in order to set up IRC-DDB was time-consuming and often not something most people would want to go through, especially since there were downfalls to routing. For example, if used improperly, they can cause interference to conversations already in progress. They would enter the call sign of the station they wanted to talk with in the Your Call field of their radio, key the mic, and their transmission would come out the other side regardless if that repeater or hotspot was in use. Because of this, routing was frowned upon and rarely used outside of Japan. There had to be a better way of doing things, so a group of people decided to create QuadNet. QuadNet is an open IRC-DDB routing network that does not require registration. They believe that having a valid amateur radio license is enough to operate on the QuadNet USA IRC network. They do not require a special club or repeater call sign for use on the network. As long as a call sign is valid and is being legally used, they'll support your use of dongles such as the DV dongle or Thumb DV, hotspots, and repeaters, both homebrew and ICOM on the QuadNet network. The purpose of QuadNet is to support routing. Routing is an alternate method of connecting to other D-Star users. Routing does not require your gateway to know the IP address of the reflector or repeater that you want to connect. You use special routing call signs in the Your Call field of your radio instead of the usual CQ, 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 and QuadNet figures out how to get your transmission to the proper destination. Now that you have a basic understanding of what QuadNet is, you're probably wondering what you can do with it. QuadNet offers standard call sign routing. This is where you enter the call sign of the station you want to talk with in the Your Call field of your radio. When you key the mic, your transmission is routed to their last known location. Use this type of routing with caution. I suggest that you first make contact with each other on a reflector, disconnect from that reflector, and then proceed with call sign routing. This way you won't cause interference to a conversation that's already in progress. Next, they offer zone routing. This will route your transmission directly to another hotspot or repeater on the network. For example, you want to talk with somebody on KC8AAA Module B. You enter /KC8AAA /B in the Your Call field of your radio, then key your mic for a second or two. A route is then established between you and the repeater or hotspot call sign. The most advanced type of routing offered is called group routing. There are two types of group routing available, the legacy StarNet groups and the next generation smart groups. Both offer the ability to route to a group of people. The main difference between the two is under the hood and how they work. The smart group software has been redesigned for use on the QuadNet network. A person would log in or subscribe to a group in order to hear everyone else that is also subscribed to that group. To subscribe to a group, enter the group subscription call in the Your Call field of the radio and key your mic for 1 or 2 seconds. When you unkey, you should get a message showing that you're logged in. Leave the subscribe call in the Your Call field of your radio, and then anytime you key your mic, the transmission will be routed to everyone else in the group. To unsubscribe, you would enter the unsubscribe command in the Your Call field and then key your mic. However, if you forget to unsubscribe, there's usually a timer that will log you off after a certain period of inactivity. One major advantage of the legacy StarNet, as well as the smart groups, is that you can monitor more than one group at a time. It's like having the ability to monitor multiple reflectors simultaneously. If you hear someone that you want to reply to, just select the correct group in the Your Call field and key your mic. Yes, it's a little more complicated than using the repeater or reflector, but after you do it a few times, it becomes second nature. In order to use QuadNet, you will need a standalone hotspot such as the NanoSpot or a Raspberry Pi hotspot running Pi-Star, the Maryland D-Star image, D-Star Commander, or similar image. You would configure the IRC DDB settings with your call sign and the QuadNet server address. Once set up, you will need to restart your hotspot. You may also need to forward port 40,000 from your router to your hotspot, otherwise people will be able to hear you, but you won't hear them. To learn more about using QuadNet or for more specific information on setting up your hotspot or repeater, head over to their website at openquad.net. For 100 Watts in Wire, this is Jeff, VE6DV.
Back to Net Control with Christian, K0STH.
Well, still hiking along here. I appreciate your patience for that. I'm going to go down and look at around the lake here. We're going to go down a hill and around the backside of the dam. For one, I'm talking to you. Number two, I'm looking for deer antlers. And three, just needed to get a walk. We've been kind of hemmed up inside the house for a few days. I haven't operated on the radio in, I don't know, a week. Need to do that. And I got a gig later on today with my daughter. She's got a STEM project at Boeing. Boeing is where we make in the Midwest here lots of planes. There's a Boeing, I don't know what you call it, a factory or what have you. Not too far, but my daughter is part of a STEM program, and they built a water filtration system. She's in the 2nd grade. I mean, holy cow, smart kids. And they're going to share that today. But anyway, so recording this week, this is good being outside, being able to do this, as long as you don't mind me breathing heavy and the woodpecker not coming in and doing what it's supposed to do. Some folks are asking, how come you're not involved with the YouTube and encouraging me to do it? You hear that? Yeah, I'm coming down here, woodpecker. You have something to say? And I see the value of YouTube, although I don't want to make a YouTube show, but making a YouTube channel with YouTube videos, kind of extras, like more watts, that kind of thing. The show is going to continue to be either out here in the field recorded or in the studio, but it's going to remain an audio type of presentation. However, the audio can be placed on YouTube, and I like that, but I'm not going to make a separate show or take this show and make it into the video. I don't think. Who wants to stare at me walking around? Okay, you do, but not everybody wants to see me walking around in the snow or wherever talking to you about crap. I just don't think being, looking at my face for 40 minutes is something I should burden you with. But the channel itself, can be kind of fun, and I can give you videos that are extras. I can show you the mobile install. I can take you for the walk that I'm on right now and not make it a show, just make it some extras. And then I can also have you guys creating content. We can share that content on the page. So I'm leaning heavily toward that. So if you go to YouTube sometime after hearing this show, maybe in the next week, subscribe to it. And if you like to create short videos that you'd like to share, maybe you have an unboxing, maybe you're out there waiting for UPS to deliver something cool, let's see you hook it up. What did you get? I'm interested in that, and that can be part of the 100 Watts in a Wire YouTube page. All right, so you'd have me giving you sort of these in-between bits, talking to you a little bit, and then you can contribute, and maybe we'll do some builds, that kind of thing. I have a beaver, and it is a problem. This beaver is dropping trees, and yeah, it's not good. It's not good. So that's something that we constantly struggle with. I'm not too far from the river. Yeah, that woodpecker. And the beavers make their way over a few hills, and they end up here kind of in this pond, and they start nibbling on these trees, and they take some big ones, lots of little ones down, and they're falling into the water, and it's a problem. So we're going to take care of that. I'm not going to talk about how. I'm not giving out my secrets. So the YouTube channel, just to follow up on that, is that's what I would like to see it. I don't want it to just be me. Frankly, with young children and everything that's going on and the commitments, it's easier for me not to be the sole contributor of content to the 100 Watts in a Wire YouTube channel. You can, though. Every time you buy something new, and when it arrives, show us what it is. What did you buy? What do you plan to do with it? And then you can send the video link to me, and we'll have to have some sort of parameters. I don't want to see you unboxing things in your drawers. I can't share that out. I mean, good grief, it's public. But that's the kind of thing, if you're working on something, share it, show it. So I'm going to encourage you all right now who are listening to my voice, who are part of the 100 Watts in a Wire community, to do a search for 100 Watts in a Wire this week and next, whenever you hear this, and subscribe. And, if people show up there, if people want to contribute their content to the page, great, we'll do it. If not, we'll focus on this show, and that's kind of my first love. There's only you and that woodpecker in my life. Hit it, woodpecker, the duet. Selfish. What the hell? Now we're going to get some geese flying in. I kind of like doing these shows. I like to get out and I walk every day. And on the weekend I walk the land here where I live. The animals, everything like that. It brings a calm and to me. Here they come. Hold on, let's see. Now that's probably near the river. I don't know if you can hear that. They're going to come by while we're talking. So anyway, I know this is a bit scattered, but look for us on the YouTube channel. Subscribe if you like to. I hope to get everything set up. And then we can... are they coming to get me? Did I die? Am I dead? Are they hawks? Maybe I should get out of here. I don't know if I should get out of here. Listen, woodpecker. Called out a team of whatever bird. Oh, Lord. YouTube, go there, do a search for 100 Watts in a Wire. Think about ways you can contribute content, and I would love to share it with our audience. After all, this is a community. Together we have built this community. And, YouTube would allow us to put a face to it if you want to. If you want to share your projects, you want to share your builds, you have an idea for something, you're welcome to drop me a line. My email address is at 100wattsandawire.com. And let me know what you're thinking about. What are you working on? And let's share it with the people. Maybe people will subscribe and we'll put a face to the show, so to speak. Lastly, before I let you go, more people are becoming sustaining members, and I really appreciate that. It puts wind. That's why I walk. Was that a coincidence? It puts wind in my sails. It lets me know that you're there, that you care, you're getting value out of this show each week. And in return, I can give something back to you, which is discounts from participating sponsors. So basically, a $25 donation this year will give you access to discounts from any participating company that's with us. You can find these companies at the website. Go to 100wattsandawire.com, click the donate page. You'll see Radio Waves, Power Film Solar. You'll see Chameleon Antennas, Bio-NO Power, Ni4L antennas, MFJ is there. And more will come in, and it's a three-pronged approach. A win-win-win. Your $25 donation for the year helps the content of this show, keeps us going, paying the bills. It also helps you get discounts from any companies. When you're buying, you know you're looking at an antenna. You may be looking at some other products. Maybe we can help get you a discount and get your money back. Over the year, if you buy from these companies, you get your money back, basically. And three, it helps the companies. Most companies, there are some that are doing well, but many companies, ma and pa companies in amateur radio, are struggling. They just struggle. So this plan will give them a potential sale. It helps them. And we're not trying to steal from them, take from them too much, or ask them to give us too much. We want them to succeed. But if we can give them, a sale, and they can give 10% off of a product, it may be the tipping point for you. So think about that. Go to our website, 100wattsandawire.com, and consider donating if you find value in this program. All right, friends, thank you for listening to my heavy breathing. It's still cold here in Missouri. We did have 80 degrees on Wednesday, but we all know it's a fluke. And we all know March is coming, and you can't trust March. I love March, but you can't trust it. It makes you believe you can get seeds in the ground. Makes you believe everything's going to be okay, and then here comes a ton of rain. And then some snow, and then a deep freeze. And your seeds die, rot, I appreciate you listening, being there for us. Look for the YouTube page. Look for the sustaining member benefit. Look for Bouvet Island to be activated in the coming months. And a new team is going to take it on. They're going to see if they can do it. Please think about ways to protect our kids and our schools. And get the courage up to let these politicians know, both sides, that it's not cool anymore, man. It's not cool. Listen to the people. Listen to our ideas. We can solve these problems. Will they listen to us? Will they listen to each other? That's what we need, man. Because me and you, we're working during the day. We couldn't be there anyway. So think about that. Think about the people who represent you. And ask them questions. And give them solutions to consider. And if they don't work for you or for us anymore, they need to go. I'm off my soapbox. But I'm right down the middle, man. I'm all for the people and the safety of our children and other things, you know. It goes beyond left and right or the middle. It's, you know, come on, lock arms, let's do it. Enough of a rant. I appreciate you. Please, in these crazy conditions, don't get soft to them. Don't become immune like I started to get when I worked at NPR, hearing about soldiers dying every 40 minutes. Every hour's newscast told me this amount died today. Tomorrow there'll be another one. Let's not become immune to it. Let's not have our souls get calloused up with things and we're just like, oh well, and it rolls off. But who won that big football game? What about baseball season? Care about that too, but let's not get immune to this, because that doesn't help us. It doesn't serve us. I'm going up a hill. Oh, good grief. Oh, Lord. Woodpecker, if you say one more blah, 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 take care of yourselves. Take care of your families. And by all means, if you can, please try and stay above the noise.
To join the 100 Watts in a Wire community, visit 100wattsinawire.com.